What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. My name is mostlydarius. If you're new here and if you are a returning subscriber, then thank you for clicking this video and supporting the channel. It is always greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at mostlydarius. And let's get started talking about what I want to talk about in my video today. As you guys can see by the title, it is a little bit of a controversial video. Usually on my channel, I'm talking about like reality TV, and this video kind of goes into reality TV a little bit, but it's bigger than reality TV. Obviously, this show that I'm watching has just prompted the conversation. So I have been watching this show called Married to Medicine on reality TV. And if you guys don't know what Married to Medicine is, it is a show on Bravo. And the reason I love it is because it's called Married to Medicine because it's about doctors' wives and actual doctors who are wives. So on the cast, you have about 6 or 7 women that are black. It's a predominantly black cast, not even predominantly black. It's a black cast, and it's one out of 3 of the only shows on Bravo with an all black woman led cast. So for that reason, I love the show. It's up there with like Real Housewives, but they don't get the marketing, the promotion, the ratings, and everything with whatever. That's beyond the point. This show is very interesting for a number of reasons. These ladies are located in Georgia, I believe Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a conversation that has happened on the show recently with the husbands, or husbands and boyfriends, I'll say. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, then we'll get into what I want to talk about. So on one of the most recent episodes of Married to Medicine, they all took a couples trip to Jamaica. There is another lady on the cast. Her name's Quad. Now, Quad used to be married to a doctor. She has been on the cast since season 1. She was married to Dr. Greg. Now, Quad and Dr. Greg, they both wanted to have children, but Quad didn't want to have children at the time because she felt like, she basically didn't want to have children because she felt like she wasn't up in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she wanted to have children when she was ready financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of the things, right? And Dr. G wanted her to have children. Now, he was like, girl, like, if you could just have the children, I could take care of y'all. You could be this housewife. You could live this life. Because there is another lady on the show. Her name's Toya, who gets taken care of by her husband. Not to say she gets taken care of by him, because she does bring in her own money. And Toya, I believe, is college educated. She can get her own job or whatever the case may be. The point is, Quad has gotten a divorce from Dr. G in like season 7 or 6 or something like that. Around that time, she was going through a very tumultuous, situation with Dr. G. They got divorced. There was some abuse going on, apparently. A lot of stuff was happening. And she left the marriage with no baby. And so on the cast, we also have a doctor by the name of Dr. Jackie. I believe Dr. Jackie is a gynecologist. She works heavily in women's bodies. She is not able to have a child. She hasn't been able to have a child. That's something that has come up on the show plenty and many of times. She's basically not able to have children because she had infertility issues caused by chemotherapy and radiation because she had breast cancer. She has battled breast cancer 2 times in her life. And so she, for that reason, has not been able to have children, right? Her husband, his name is Curtis. And we're going to talk about Curtis and we're going to talk about Quad specifically in this video because that is why I'm having this conversation with y'all. Okay. Curtis and Jackie have been married. And let me just let y'all know there had been a time in their marriage where he, I guess you could say, stepped out, was caught with another woman. He was basically not doing things that were godlike, right? And so now Quad is still trying to have a child too, but she's going through issues with like IVF. That process is taking a lot on her body. X, Y, Z, yada yada is going on. And so, like I said, they're on a couples trip in Jamaica. So during this time, the husbands separate from the wives, and the wives go have to do their thing, and then the husband's going to do their thing. And so there was a conversation that came up because they do this therapy session every time they have a couples trip, just to see, how everybody's doing in their marriage, checking on each other as a cast and as friends. Like, hey, how's this going in your marriage? Let's talk about this, whatever. So this time in Jamaica, King is there on the couples trip. I think this might be his second couples trip. The last season King was on, he was on the couples trip, and that's when Dr. G came back with his new wife. And Quad and Dr. G, like I told y'all, they got divorced. And he had been off the show for a couple seasons. So when Dr. G came back with his new wife, Quad came back with her boyfriend, and it was just what it was, right? They do still have Quad on the cast, even though she's not married to medicine. It is what it is, whatever. We know how these shows go. But this is King's second couples trip with the men. And there was a conversation about how he's kind of been like, I guess you could say stressed out. I guess you could say he's kind of been like stressed out the whole IVF process and going through the things with Quad and all of the stuff, right? Because she has certain issues going on with her body. She is a woman of a certain age, and there does come a time in your life as a woman where trying to have a child gets more complicated the older you get. I'm not saying Quad is like 55, but she's not 22 either. And even if you were 22 or 20, whatever, there still could be complications with having a child just because that is not something that is just able to just be done. I think a lot of people take having children for granted. But when King talked about it, King was saying, I think that, we're having issues, whatever, whatever. Now keep in mind, Quad and King are not married. Now, like I said, this is a couples trip, but this is about husbands and boyfriends because Quad and King are still in the boyfriend girlfriend stage. They haven't made it to the marriage, but Quad wants a child. Quad wants a child regardless of if they get married or not because it's something that she wants. And she's been wanting a child for a very long time. Like I said, her and Dr. G, they both wanted the child. They just wanted it on different terms. So the fact is, they both still don't have children. And we can talk about that later. But the craziest thing happened while they were sitting there talking. While King was expressing his feelings and how he felt about everything, Dr. Jackie's husband, Curtis, decides to open up his mouth and basically tell King in a nutshell that, hey, have you ever thought that maybe you are not able to have a child because you guys aren't doing it in God's way? Basically alluding to the fact that, y'all are trying to have a child before you get married. What? Do you hear how you sound? And the problem I take with this is the fact that he brought up the Bible. He brought up the Bible who he's weaponizing religion against people who are supposed to be his friends. And it's like the fact that you even felt the audacity and the other husbands looked around. The other husbands were looking around. They were like, wow, like I can't believe he just said that. Like a lot of them were like, yo, like check yourself. Like you shouldn't say that. And instead of him saying he was wrong, he doubles down. And then he mentions the Bible. He's like, that's not what they say in the Bible. And da 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 da. Bruh, nigga, ain't nobody talking about that right now. And if we're gonna be honest, I'm so glad King checked that at the door because let's be clear, let's be very clear. You're not able to have children with your wife either, right? Exactly, okay? And if you're saying that they're not doing it God's way, I'm assuming when somebody tell me something like that, I'm assuming you done did it God's way. I'm assuming that you are the most manest man of God. When you tell somebody that, so I'm sitting here like, didn't you like cheat on your wife? Like, is that God's way? And my problem is when people start bringing up the Bible and the religion and all this stuff when it benefits whatever their talking point may be that day. Whatever their talking point may be that day, people want to bring up the Bible, bring up religion. Now listen, I don't have nothing against anybody that's religious. I don't have nothing against anybody that's Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, whatever. I think, to be honest, religion is an interesting concept. I personally feel like all religions have some things in common. I think that it's good to learn from each religion because you always can learn some valuable things. I don't subscribe to any. I don't shame those who do, but I will not allow people to push their beliefs onto me because we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And so, what I'm saying that to say is, Dr. Jackie even checked him about that too. Dr. Jackie was like, hey, I wasn't able to carry a child either. So you need to apologize to them because if we done it God's way and I'm not able to carry a child, then what does that say? And that's my thing right there. What does that say? When y'all bring up the Bible and when y'all bring up religion and things, and then when y'all get proved to be wrong, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel to have egg on your face? You look dumb as hell. You look dumb as hell because now your point is unproven. So instead of you unpacking why you subscribe to a certain religion and have these beliefs, because honestly, to me, I would have hoped that would have been like a wake up call for him. Like, bro, you sat here and you tried to weaponize religion and you got proved wrong by your wife, who was also not able to have children. And not only was it super insensitive, it was just fucked up. Like that's what you're gonna blame it on. You're not gonna blame it on the fact that like she's getting up there in age. You're not gonna blame it on maybe some health issues, some health complications. You're gonna go talk about the Bible and it's not being God's way. And I really want y'all to release. I want y'all to release the Bible from y'all talking points when y'all trying to prove a point to somebody about what they're doing is wrong. I'm sick. Y'all all everybody sins, bro. Everybody sins. And I'm so glad King clocked that. But the point that the reason I brought this up is because I've been wanting to talk about a friend that I had recently. I'm not friends with this person no more because I'm not gonna say it's because they became religious, but there have been like little tidbits of things that would be going on in our conversations. Sometimes that would be like, okay, like this person has always been judgmental. And now I'm about to get a little bit personal, right? So I have a friend. Me and this friend, we known each other for a very long time. We grew up in the same neighborhood, not in the same neighborhood. We grew up in the same hometown, rather. And we've always known each other, seen each other, always spoke, whatever. We didn't get super close until the pandemic hit, and we were all in this group chat. It was a couple of us, but the group chat didn't last. It was about like 6 of us. It was 3 boys, 3 girls. Eventually, the group chat just started dying down. More people start falling out, start getting phased out. Whatever, things happen. People don't, friendships don't always last forever. Cool. Um, but there had been a big shift, I feel like, in behavior with this friend and just in our relationship because I just kind of was getting tired of the judgment. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a conversation that I have had with this friend before about how they're insensitive and how they're judgmental. But I'm bringing this friend up to say that, um, you know, I'm not gonna say that they've ever weaponized religion or weaponized the Bible against people. That's not why I'm bringing it up. I am bringing it up to say how a lot of times people that are religious are judgmental as fuck. And I think that it's time that we be honest about that. I'm tired of people. I'm so tired. And my thing for that is like, don't y'all say that nobody can judge but God? So why are y'all trying to be God? It's like, you're not God. So how are you out here judging people? I was a little hurt by the way we fell out because, first of all, they didn't tell me happy birthday. That was what pissed me off. But then you got to start thinking about when certain things happen in friendships, you got to start thinking about like the things that led up to the fallout. And I want to say within like the past 2 years, like, there had just been like, first of all, the Bible study thing that had became a thing for that friend. I want to say about like a year or two ago, they had started studying the Bible. Now, the thing about this is this friend, I just feel like so judgmental, always judgmental, very insensitive. Like, me and this friend have gotten into plenty of little arguments about just stupid stuff. Like, it would be just some just dumb shit, but it just like, the small stuff adds up over time. Like, you keep getting into arguments about little small shit, and eventually it becomes this bigger thing. And I'm gonna just give y'all a prime example of 2 arguments we had, right? And they're really stupid. But hear what I'm saying. Ocean Gate. Y'all remember Ocean Gate when do y'all remember when the billionaires, millionaires, whoever the hell, remember when they fell to the bottom of the ocean, they couldn't get out of the ocean, whatever, whatever. So we were all talking about it in the chat, and this friend was like, "Oh, I don't feel bad for them. They're stupid. They're dumb. This is what happened when you're rich and you just got money to spend. You're da 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 dumb dumb dumb." And I'm like, okay, was it a dumb decision? Yes, I didn't agree with it. I do think they thought they had some like level of privilege for them to be able to even drop down that deep into the ocean and think that that was acceptable. Like, how did y'all think that that was gonna go for y'all? Right? I get that, right? But on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't know these people that went into that ocean. At the end of the day, somebody lost a family member, somebody lost a coworker, somebody lost a friend, a father, a mother, an uncle, a brother, whatever. And I have empathy for that. I do. And this friend, me and this friend are going back and forth about it. Like, oh, like she like, oh, I don't have no empathy because and that's what they get. That's what they get. Aha, they died. They died. And it's like, damn, like, girl, are you good? Like, why are we like not empathetic to people dying? Like, I mean, I get it. Some people on this earth, whatever happens to them because they don't do right by people when they're here and they just don't get it. Which that can also be another conversation about how some people really just need to go to therapy and get out of their own way. Whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that this friend is so like insensitive. And I was like, you're just mad insensitive. Like, you're just mad insensitive. You are insensitive as hell. Like that. I mean, there was no other word for me to say. And it was like, I'm not gonna bite my tongue because this is really how I feel. And I need you to know I feel like this about you. So that if I ever talk about you or you ever hear or see a video like this, whatever, this is not gonna come as a surprise because I don't like to hide how I feel for my friends. And so, and I don't think you should. I think you should talk to your friends and have those uncomfortable conversations with them because that honestly, like, that was just one of the things that we got into an argument about. There was another time me and them got into an argument because we were having a conversation and I sent them something about like this type of this coffee, and I think it was like a donut. I don't know. It was some type of food. And this friend was like, "Oh, that's so big back." Now, mind you, this person is a gym head. They love working out, love fitness. Listen, I like working out. I like going to the gym. I like doing my little runs. I do it here and there. I'm not making it like an obsession. I don't judge people that don't do it. I just keep it cool. But this friend specifically, and like I said, there have been little tidbits of things that have been just said, and you know what? That's why you cannot let stuff slide. You gotta check stuff the first time you see it. Cause I feel like I gotta drag myself now for letting a lot of stuff slide. Um, I feel like this friend was so judgmental, and I was like, the fact that you're using the word fat bag, I'm like, what did she say? Big bag. I'm like, this is a little bit fat phobic. You don't think? Like, whatever. So we got into this whole thing. She's like, how was that fat phobic? That's not fat phobic. You're just trying to be outraged. You're using keywords that people use on Twitter, babe. I'm not using. I'm just letting you know that there are fat people out there that do not like that word to be used. But you know what kind of it's crazy to me is that this goes back to the judgmental thing. It's like, you're a dark skinned woman in the world, you're a nurse or EMT, whatever, a doctor, whatever. You oversee patients every day that go through insecurities, that go through traumatic things and die and all of these things, right? And so just for you to have a stance or to have an attitude with me because all I did was tell you, hey, that's a little fat phobic, like leave them alone. Like what the fat people do, like da da da. You want to have a whole argument about the fact that I told you that that was fat phobic. It is. I mean, go look up the word. I'm not just saying the word just because it's a keyword on Twitter. I've never been one of those people to just say keywords on Twitter. And I felt like the insults tried to start like coming through a little bit, like basically trying to say that I don't have a brain. I don't think for myself. Baby girl, if anybody has a brain, you know it's me. And if you ever thought I didn't have a brain, why have you been friends with me for so long? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me acting like I don't have my own brain. I don't have my own thoughts, my own opinions. Now we get into insult territory. All because I told you that you saying big back is rooted in fat phobia. It is rooted in fat phobia. What do you want me to do? Did I say you were fat phobic? No. But what I said, what you said was rooted in fat phobia. There should be no rebuttal because it's the truth. It's a fact. Period. And you want to get mad at me because I said it. Oh well, it's the truth. And this just goes back to you being judgmental about people and just about things that people do in their life and about people in their body and things like there have been little bit of there has been sayings, and this is why y'all this is why judgmental people get on my fucking nerves. Like, not only are you judgmental, but you're fucking insensitive. That kills me. But then you are the same person that cries about colorism. You're the same person that's crying about racism. You're the same person that's crying about all of these isms and phobias in the world. But you think it's okay for you to have yours. You think it's okay for you to have yours. You think it's okay because it's you. Make it make sense. This friend ended up getting married. I didn't get to go to their wedding because last year I had a bunch of stuff that I was doing, like with school programs, like just getting some certifications, X, Y, Z. I started working part time. I didn't have the, bandwidth to be able to go all the way home for a wedding. At the time, I had to be in school and I was working part time. I just didn't have it. I did say that I was going to get this friend a gift, and I feel bad. I haven't gotten a gift yet, and I might not, just because of the simple fact that this friend didn't tell me happy birthday. And that's really what pissed me off about this person, is because I feel like at the end of the day, I didn't do nothing to you. And if we was friends, we kind of had been talking a little bit right before that. So for them to not tell me happy birthday, that kind of really bothered me. But what fucked me up even more was 2 days after my birthday, they then post this whole thing about how they got baptized and they believe in God and Jesus Christ and your Lord and Savior and da da da. Look, more power to you. More power to you. But I'm not. I'm just unfollow, because first of all, you didn't tell me happy birthday, so that's already automatic. You're done. But like, the fact that you're like still alive after this, it's like, okay, so you just didn't care about me. You was been kind of getting tired of me. That's what I'm starting to feel like. And you know what? I gotta start looking at this person's actions. Like, this person literally, and this is you. Y'all can drag me, whatever, because you gotta start thinking about how people treat other people when you're friends with them, because they would do you the same way, if not worse. And look, they probably talk shit about me to their other friends, whatever. It is what it is. I feel like, oh my god, I can just go so many different places right now, because it's just like I'm a little frustrated, because I feel like this goes hand in hand with the judgment and the whole religious aspect of the whole thing. And it's like always talking shit about people and acting holier than thou and having this God complex. If y'all get what I'm saying. It is annoying when you know people like that in real life. And I'm not saying that this person was a person like Curtis, but I definitely can picture them being that way in the future, just because of the way they were before they were this religious being. So I want to say the shift began when they were in the process of getting married. Now, what was funny to me was that they had so many friends that were like giving them a hard time about their wedding and all of these things. And like, I'm talking about, this person literally was damn near touching Bridezilla vibes. Like, it was giving Bridezilla at a certain point. You know what I mean? And I mean, the stuff that they would say about the people that we're close with, it would be like, interesting, but you want to have this person at your wedding though. And it started really making me think, like, this person is fake as fuck, low key. Like, this motherfucker be fake. Like, I'll never forget, there have been times where even with their own best friend, they would talk shit about their best friend to their mother. Like, I'll never forget that one time they were on vacation with their best friend, and their best friend was doing something different with the towels. Like, she kept ordering a new towel every night or something, or she did something, and then she was talking shit about her best friend with her mother. And within the conversations about her and her mother talking about her best friend to the chat. I don't know how serious y'all take y'all best friends, but when it comes to me and my best friend, I'm not, first of all, if I'm talking to my mother about my best friend, I'm not sending it to a chat to make fun of my best friend, number one, right? Number two, I'm not talking shit about my best friend to none of you. Like, it's not happening. I got too much respect. Like I have too much integrity. I don't see it. I don't see it going down like that. I do have best friends, long life best friends. I don't really call people best friend anymore. I feel like it's a little bit too high school for me. Like if we're friends, we're friends. You know, we're family, right? The older you get. But I definitely feel like with this friend, there had just been so many things that I had to look back at in the past. Like, oh my God, like it makes sense that you've become this person now. And you know what? I'm not gonna say here and shit on people. Like believing whatever you want to believe in. Everybody wants to hold on to some type of belief in this world to keep them sane. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Christians again. Shout out to the Buddhists, the people. Shout out to everybody. Do what y'all want. The problem comes in when y'all start that judgmental shit. But you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get on here and talk about that because I felt like that was a little bit triggering when I saw Curtis say that the king, and it's just like y'all gotta calm down. Y'all got to calm down because the thing be with religious people is when it's something that they don't believe in, they start saying, "Oh, y'all pushing, y'all trying to push this onto me, y'all trying to push this onto us, y'all." But then y'all do the same thing. Y'all are literally hypocrites, which we all are hypocrites. At one point in my life, we're all hypocrites. Everybody contradicts themselves. That's a human thing. You know, people do it. But I just find it interesting when people act like they're above it all. They're above, they're above it all. And it's like, but you're just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like you used to indulge, you used to partake. Like this friend used to drink and smoke and da da da. I guess because they don't now, it's like, oh, I don't do that. I don't do those things. Like, girl, like, okay. Like you want to talk about all of the stuff and the demons and the demonic things and music and industry and all this. Like you used to go to Lil Uzi concerts. Like stop. Like stop. Like I can't with the what's the pipeline I'm looking for? Let me think of the pipeline. The I guess I'm just I don't have a clever term for it right now, but the non-religious to overly religious pipeline, especially in the black community. I need y'all to let it go sometimes. I really do. I really do need y'all to let it go. I'm not about to sit here and have y'all throw something at me and that was written in the book by somebody that y'all never met. Y'all never met these people that y'all be talking about, gave you all of these lessons and did all these things. Listen, do I believe that there are, like I said, there are some things to learn about in religion from every religion? I believe that, every religion has very valuable lessons. I think life has valuable lessons, but I just don't subscribe to one. And the reason is because I feel like we've seen time and time again, like, look at P Valley. Look at how Patrice took that money from her daughter Mercedes to build her up a church. Is that godly? Is that God? It's a fake show. It's a character, right? But it's just like stuff like that be happening in real life, and I think that we need to have an honest conversation about it. I don't want to come down on nobody. I just had to get up here and talk about that because that really pissed me off. And it's like y'all always trying to like weaponize religion and weaponize the Bible against people. Y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to stop. It's getting old. It's getting tired. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I was kind of all over the place with this video just because I wanted to kind of get up here and rant. I was like all over the place. I didn't really have a specific, you know, timeline of that friendship, but it reminded me a lot of that friendship and who that person has become. And I just want to say, I feel like there had been a point where like they got married and everything was like everything started aligning, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay, like, you gotta align with what aligns with you. You don't ever want to be in a forced situation. My feelings were hurt, obviously, because I thought this was somebody that was like my friend. I looked up to them like a big sister in a way. Um, but it was just like, you know what? I gotta take that with a grain of salt and move on in my life. There's other people out there that are amazing that will be accepting of me. I also gotta understand. I don't think that friend has any other gay friends. I don't even think they got a lot of fat friends. That's why they act the way they act, say the stuff they do. The one friend they do have, well, not the one friend they do have, but there's one friend that they have. They're obsessed with this friend. They're light skinned, and then they got two friends that are, twins that are not black. Then their other black friend that is also lighter than them. That's the best friend, a little more skinny and stuff. And you know what's so crazy? I had heard that this she even judged. I even heard that she judged her best friend when they were younger for having sex with a guy or getting head from a guy. Um, and it's like this supposed to be your best friend that's supposed to be coming to you telling you about like hey, I just got my first body or whatever the case. And instead of you saying, oh my God, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? You judging this girl because what? Like, judgmental as fuck. Like, I'm just over the judgment from people that are religious, and I don't like judgmental people in general. So whenever it's a religious person doing it, I get overly irritated. But yeah, I feel like I've went on for too long. I said enough. I've talked a lot, and I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments. Do y'all watch Married to Medicine, by the way? Let me know what y'all thought about this season, and how did y'all feel when Curtis said what he said to King? let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And he has since apologized. He's apologized, but let me know what y'all think about that in the comments because I'm over it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.